Hey sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a ton of really fun Valentine decor inspiration packed in this video. It's going to be full of hacks and DIYs and crafts, a little bit of everything. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out here on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed. Tons of brand new content coming your way that you won't want to miss. But let's go ahead and get on into crafting. In the crafter square at Dollar Tree, I picked up just some frames that were just out for everyday crafting. So these are not like part of the Valentine's decor section. So hopefully you can find these all year. But I grabbed those as well as some of this pouring medium. I recently used this in a Christmas video and I loved it so much. So I knew I had to try it out again. But this time I am mixing it with some different shades of pink. So I'm using just these apple barrel paints that I picked up from Walmart in different shades. And this darkest pink was a little bit thick, so I really had to stir it, which made it a little bit more thick, pouring it onto the frame, but it still worked out really nice. So all you have to do is mix 1-to-1 ratio with the paint and the pouring medium, and then into a separate cup, you like stack up your paint. So kind of make like a messy pour them into each other, and then like layer up the colors, but don't stir them together after you get all of the colors poured in there. And that's not going to let them blend too much before you get them poured on top of your frame. I did elevate the frame just a little bit, so whenever I pour this, it will run off of the edges. And I thought this looked so beautiful. You can see the whites mixing in with the pinks, and I'm just trying to carefully let it kind of run off the edges. It'll wrap around the frame, so the sides will be covered too, and just trying to create a really fun pattern. So kind of rocking it back and forth just a tiny bit so that none of the runs are just too long. And then I thought this was so pretty. I had another frame from Dollar Tree, so I got that out and tried it on this longer one, and this one had a lot more pink. I should have remixed all of my paint together, but I just tried to use what was left over. But it still turned out really pretty, but I did try to kind of stack up some whites and pinks, adding in some more of that pouring medium just to make sure that this had like enough color and pattern and texture to it. These look really cool whenever you spray them with like glossy spray paint, and they're super shiny, so you can go ahead and do that before you move on any further. But I did want to share with you that the back did get messy. It stuck to the paper whenever it was drying, and a lot of the paint went back there, so I did want to cover that up, especially if you are giving this as a gift. So I'm taking some gray chalk paint and covering that over. And then for the second frame, I had this really big You and Me sticker from Dollar Tree that I thought was really cute. I weeded out the little excess pieces in there and then stuck it down, but I think this was really fun, adding in a cute little picture and the sticker. This was super easy to put together, and like I said, would make a great gift. After Christmas, I found these light up mugs and little like coffee cups. So I thought these were adorable, and even though it said hot chocolate, I still feel like this would be really cute to paint pink for Valentine's Day. So that's what I'm doing, using some of my pink chalk paint and just covering this up as careful as I can. I didn't want a lot of the paint running in between the letters or making this not look as good, but I'm just trying to carefully go around the white because I did want to leave that. I really didn't want to have to go back in and paint all of that white again. But I do go in and just add the extra details in a second. But for the hot cocoa one, all I did was paint it pink and go around the edges as close as I could, and that one was completely finished. I just took a pencil and outlined where I thought that the little coffee needed to go in here, but I ended up placing these on a tiered tray, making like a Valentine's tiered tray, and I think it looks so adorable. So I'm so happy with how these turned out, and just taking a few extra seconds to spruce these up. I love them so much more than what they originally looked like. So I have made little like fake gumball machines on my channel, and that's definitely something that you can make for Valentine's Day, but you can't really compete with how nice this jar is. So it has a really good seal. Your candy's not going to get gross, and it's going to be airtight. So I just wanted to dress up one of these super nice jars. So all I did was take a piece of ribbon, I opened the lid and tied it around there, and you think that it's going to affect it closing, but it does not. The seal actually goes inside the jar. So I just double knotted this on the outside, trimmed the ribbons down, and then placed a sticker on the front. So even though this project only took like a couple of minutes to put together, I thought it was a great way to display these huge gumballs that are so beautiful. These would be so pretty on a tiered tray or just in your kitchen or dining area, but place those inside and love how this looks. I know a lot of you all enjoy whenever I put together signs to decorate your home with just for $1. I actually found this Christmas sign half price, so it was 50 cents after Christmas, and then I found that gorgeous metal cupcake, so that inspired this whole thing. I was so excited to paint one of those, so I just started by painting my board white, intentionally leaving a lot of the brown showing through, but I do go ahead and sand this just to give it some texture and create those gorgeous lines, and this will just keep the background busy and make the sign look a lot better. I'm going in with some of my pink chalk paint and painting the top of the cupcake. I really didn't know what direction I wanted to go whenever I got started, but I knew I just didn't want to paint like super bright colors and make it look kiddish really, so I'm still kind of being a little bit subtle. I do add in some hot pink sprinkles a little bit later, but I'm just keeping that soft color just to, I don't know, match my style decor more. But here I am sanding this down, and I do go over the edges to let more of that brown show through. I also had on hand one of these infinity wreaths that had the love sign on there. I took my wire cutters, and I'm not cutting it, I'm just breaking it off of the metal frame, but I thought this would be a really fun way to get that love word so that I can hot glue it above the cupcake. I love whenever Dollar Tree puts out this pink ribbon. I feel like it just is the perfect color. So I'm folding that over the edges, adding in a little bit of hot glue, and love how I got to add that to the bottom just to give it extra texture. And then I do put a coordinating bow at the top, as well as attach the love sign with some hot glue. You do have to be careful there. It doesn't want to touch the sign in a lot of places. So I did try to fold it as flat as I could, and then reattached a new jute twine hanger. So I don't try to go overboard for Valentine's Day, but adding in cute little signs and stuff like this into your normal decor just looks really pretty and helps everyone feel, I don't know, all festive for February. I had one of these leftover pictures from last year, and it had like this home quote on it, and I knew I wanted to get rid of that, so I took a piece of sandpaper and tried to sand this off. I was worried at first that it wasn't going to come off, but with a little bit of elbow grease I was able to get it off without scratching the picture too much, so I ended up removing that and then using my window clings. I have so many DIYs in this video where I'm using the rest of these window clings on different projects, but they are so easy to dress up. Any little item or DIY, perfect to craft with. I just glued this on top of there. It just completely gave it a makeover, made it look more festive, match my Valentine's decor, and then I did go over this with some clear coat just to help the heart stay on. But how adorable is this with that mini little rose in there? Speaking of window clings, I found this really fun set with like the black background, and I thought this would be really cute on one of the Dollar Tree chalkboards. So another item that you can get all year in the Crafter Square are these mini little craft boards or chalkboards, and I ended up putting the sweet love in the center and then adding some hearts. I do glue those down, but then I do take some Mod Podge and completely cover it so nothing's going to peel up. I wanted this to look a little bit realistic, so I do just kind of scribble on some little chalk marks and wipe them away with a damp cloth. I added in that same bow. I love that ribbon, but thought this turned out too sweet. My Dollar Tree still has out these metal hearts. They are such a neat like little shadow box item. So using another one of my favorite window clings, I'm using the Be Mine sticker and gluing this down in the middle, as well as using some of the pom-pom ribbon that I had on hand, gluing that around the edges to give it some texture. But I thought this would be really cute hanging up, but also on tiered trays or small shelves. Just adds like a fun little touch and something different than just setting around the everyday like Dollar Tree trinkets, but this is actually something custom that you've made that just looks a little bit different so that your decor is really unique. Okay, so I was just at Walmart and they had vases for $10 because they were just had something on the front. So a really fun hack is if you just pick up any of Dollar Tree's sized vases and then add a window cling on the front, it's really dressing it up without spending any extra money. So I just rinsed this off as why it is wet. It was kind of dusty, just something I had in my stash, but I put this little love you on the front and then added the flowers in it, and I feel like this really dresses it up without having to go out and buy like a custom vase. Another really fun vase idea is to pick up some of Dollar Tree's tissue paper. This was for Valentine's Day. It has these hearts all over it. All I did was cut out a little rectangle that I thought would fit the vase. I rolled it up, and then I'm going to be Mod Podging this on top. Now I did add in a ton of Mod Podge. You don't have to add in quite as much, but I like to be able to kind of move mine around after it's on the jar to smooth out all of the wrinkles. You will have just a little bit of overhang at the bottom, so I'm taking a piece of sandpaper and just very gently trying to pull off all of that excess and then letting this completely dry. This is a really fun hack that I discovered last fall and I've been using it ever since. But if you pick up one of Dollar Tree's glass containers, put some Mod Podge in there. I like to put extra and then just kind of flip the glass, tilt it upside down a little bit and get it all up on the edges. Sometimes I even use a paintbrush to kind of put it where I want it, but trying to give it more of a natural flowy look without showing the brush strokes. So be careful there. I do this a couple of different times, letting it dry overnight. But I love how it makes this fake waterline and makes your floral arrangements look more realistic. If you pick up some of these gorgeous red and white plates, you can easily fix them up for Valentine's Day with some window clings and then remove them so that you can use them for everyday use. I love these that they are red, so perfect for Valentine's Day, but you could actually put like Christmas decals on here and then pull them off and then use the ones for Valentine's Day. So you definitely can get multiple uses out of these. I'm just playing around with it and seeing which of the window clings that I like best on there. I like more of the watercolor red after I was playing with it, so just played around with how these looked, but I want to be able to set these together and display them on the shelf. I don't feel like you can have a Valentine gift video without having these DIY mugs. So this is a fun little gift that you can give your girlfriends or just friends at work, coworkers, but definitely something that, I mean, you could make it for like a boyfriend or husband, but you might have to use boy socks, which isn't going to look as cute, but these are really fun to make. I wanted to share with you, I picked up this mug from Dollar General, but the glass one came from Dollar Tree. So either way you want to go, if you want to spend a little bit more, I think that mug was a few bucks versus getting this one for $1. And then I just hot glued this heart sequence on there. And then obviously if they want to use the mug, they can just pop that off because the hot glue will peel off of the glass. I am putting some cute fuzzy socks in both of these with a little paper straw. For one of the cups, I put in a bath bomb, and then for the other one, I just dressed it up using some more little hearts. But I think these look adorable. I love these $1 heart picks from Dollar Tree. I stuck that in the top, and I feel like that makes it look really festive and cute. And then doing that again for the other one. I was inspired by these little, they're called ornaments, but they're little like popsicle sticks that says love grows here. So I thought that would be really cute planted in like a little fake pot of plants. So either way you want to go, I just went with succulents, and you could make this more serious and just put some Spanish moss around the succulents and gift it like that. Maybe with a gift card, maybe with some gardening gloves or some little hand tools, but I just thought it was fun. I had all of these extra little accessories, so I just thought it was cute to stuff with little socks. But like I said, you could put some gloves on the sides, but I added in some little floral picks as well as these little felt flowers, and that this was really cute. Next up, I wanted to make like a Valentine train, so this turned out adorable. I'm using a couple of little crates for the little crates behind the train, but for the train piece, I'm actually going to have to stack up a couple of these, but cut one in half. So I did use my handsaw. It was a little tricky, but I got it finished. So if you have power tools, definitely do use that. But got this cut in half, glued it on the top, but then I'm taking some popsicle sticks because I didn't like the holes, so I'm trying to cover those in the front, and added some extra support with these little tower blocks in the back, and that's just going to make sure that it's not going to fall off. I usually don't go for a lot of red in my decor, but go more towards the pink, but I really wanted this train to pop off, so I painted it red, and then I'm going to go back in and add some more pink. So I thought it looked so good together. I did leave the top of the train blank so that I could go in and paint that white, but giving this a couple of coats and making sure that I do paint the inside too, because you're going to be able to see it from like displayed on a shelf. So after that completely dried, this is what I'm using for the wheels. I picked up some wooden circles from Hobby Lobby, but if you want to stick with Dollar Tree items, you can pick up these little trucks and use the little wheels, but I picked up some bigger ones for the front of the train, and then some like little smaller ones for the back. I cut down a dowel rod to put as like the smokestack in the front, and then here I am painting the pink line on the train. I feel like that makes it look more Valentine's Day and gives it more color. So I love this combo, and I thought it would be so cute if this was like pulling like candy and some little Valentine letters. So that's what I'm going to be filling this up with. But I did once again use my window cling. I'm not lying, I did use that entire sheet, and I actually put some of these crafts in different order, so it does look like I used them all and then they're all back on the sheet. So let me know if you notice that. But for the little wheels, I put a little white heart. They're not perfect, but I wanted something inside of the little wheels, and then filled in a little candle holder with like some candies, as well as an envelope with some little like ticket stickers that I found from Dollar Tree. So just really trying to dress this up, but you could customize this any way you would like. I picked up so many of these little book stacks from Dollar Tree. I was dying to make one over, but I still wanted to keep it for Valentine's Day, so I'm definitely holding on to a couple that I want to make over for springtime. But to make a little personalized set of books, I thought it would be cute to add my initials on there, or me and my husband's initials. So I ended up painting this with 2 coats of white paint, and then adding in just some Dollar Tree stickers. You can see that it did kind of peel up the paint where I am trying to move my stickers around, so just make sure you place them where you want them. I love old keys, so I put that at the top as well as this little love sign, and just mixing in just different stickers, but you also could use rub-ons or the poster stickers and put like a large initial. I tied some more of my favorite ribbon at the top, made a little bow and glued that down, but I feel like this little set of books would also be perfect for a tiered tray or small shelf, and just, I don't know, something that you can gift to somebody else. You could write like a sweet little message on there, or some birthdays of someone's kids, but I think these are adorable and one of my favorite Dollar Tree finds. I really hope you enjoyed this video and it brought you some inspiration or tips or tricks that you can try in your home. Be sure to subscribe. Tons of new content coming your way. I feel so refreshed and excited for 2022 and so many fun ideas that I just hope I have enough time to bring them to you. So let me know what you want to see in 2022. Put that down in the comments down below and I'll try to make a video on it. But thank you all for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting. Bye.